There are two different ways to make this particular bag. So this one that you're seeing on your screen is very small, okay, but the one that we're going to do is bigger than this one, okay. So you need your beads, and then so the bigger ones and then the small one, you have to use two sizes, okay. So I'll just go ahead and pick 6 big beads, okay. So you will need 174 pieces of the white or the bigger beads, but I didn't count the number of small beads I used, okay. So you pick 6 and then you cross the last one, okay. You cross the last bead. You have to make sure it is very firm and steady, okay, all throughout. Now you put the two sides of the threads together like this, and then you pick one bigger bead and then you enter the bead with both threads, okay, like it's done in the video. Now you separate the threads after you've entered that bigger bead, and then you enter the opposite bead, okay. So the one that you cross before you picked out the single bead that we just picked, you enter the opposite bead like it's shown in this video. So you cross that bead with your thread. So it's either you cross it or you knot inside that bead to make it much stronger or firmer, okay. Yes. So this is the first circle that we have. This is the base, okay. Now we are building the base, which is very important in this bag, making this beaded bag, okay. The base is very important. So now I'm making one small, one bigger, one small, one bigger, and then one small. So 3 smaller beads and then 2 bigger beads in between, and then you cross the last small bead that you picked, okay. Watch carefully. So you can continue to knot to make your base very firm. So you enter the next bead, and then here we already have one smaller bead, so we are going to pick one big, one small, another bigger bead, and then one smaller bead, and then you cross the last one, this very one, the small bead, the last small bead that you pick, you enter that very one. So you do that for all the remaining beads, okay. You know we have 6 beads there, so you do that for the remaining. Pick one bigger, one small, one bigger, and then you pick one small bead and then you cross it, okay. So you do that for the rest of the beads. So when you get to the last one, you enter the last bigger bead, including the small bead there, okay. So you enter one bigger bead and then one small bead, and then you pick one bigger bead, and then you okay, one bigger bead, one small. So you cross the last bigger bead. This way you're not picking another small bead to cross it, but the second bigger bead that you pick and you cross that one, okay. So this is our second step, okay. Now if you want it to be small like you saw in the beginning, this is where you stop and then you build the body. But here you want to make it much bigger, okay. So you enter the next bead like I've done, and then you pick one small bead, 2 bigger beads, and then one small, and then you cross the last small bead that you pick. So one small, two bigger, no small bead in between the bigger beads, okay? Then you pick one last small bead and then you cross it. Now you enter the next small bead like I have done. Enter the next small bead, and now you pick one bigger bead and one small bead, and then you cross the last small bead, and then this is what you have. So once again, going to enter the next two bigger beads, okay? Next two bigger beads, then I'll pick two bigger beads and then one small bead, and then I'll cross the small bead that I just picked. Great. You enter the next small bead there, and then you pick one big, one small, and then you cross the small bead. Okay, so you continue like that. So after this very one, you enter the next two white beads, you pick two bigger, one small. Okay, so it's intense, you have to continue, right? So this is what we have. So you have to get a single 6 times, okay? The single beat. You see that you have two beats together, and then one. So in order for you to note whether you're on the right track, you have to get 6 single beats, okay? And right here I have 5, so I'm crossing this one last bead here to make it the singles 6. Okay, so this is the base that we need, and then you can see that it's bigger than the first one or the picture you saw in the beginning. So now it's time for us to build the body of the bag. Okay, so like you've seen, I've entered one bigger bead, and then I'll pick one small, two bigger beads, and then one small. Once again, I'll cross the smaller bead, okay? So next thing to do is to enter the next two bigger beads, okay? Next two bigger beads. Please, at this point, if not subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe, like, leave any comments in the comment section, and then share, okay? So after entering the two beads, you pick two bigger beads, and then you pick one small bead, and you cross the smaller bead, okay? And that is how we are going to build the size. You enter two bigger beads, you pick two bigger beads, one small, and then you cross the smaller one, okay? So that is how we are going to do to complete this first circle or first step. I don't know how to call it, but this is how you do it, okay? Yeah, so you enter the next two beads, you pick two white or two bigger beads, you pick one last and one small bead, sorry, and then you cross the small one. Okay, so here it might seem very wretched, but don't worry, you will get to know the right thing, okay? So yeah, so if you continue, you will see that you are on the right track. So lastly, for this round to complete, you enter the next two beads. That's the bigger bead, the next bigger beads. Then you enter that small bead there, okay? That small bead there. And then you pick two bigger beads. This time around, you are not picking small beads, so I'll cross the second bigger bead. And that is how you close your rounds, okay? And then you see after closing this one, you can see that you have the right thing. So next I'll enter this bead here, and then we continue with the same process. So to step up, you enter that bead and then you pick one small, two bigger beads, and then one small bead, and then you cross the smaller bead. Okay, next you enter the next two bigger beads like we've done in the previous round, the next two bigger beads, and then you pick two bigger beads, one small, then you cross the small bead. Okay, yeah, so that is how you continue throughout. When you end the round, you close it. So I'm going to show you one last round, okay, one last time. So you enter the next two bigger beads plus the small beads beside it, or next to the two bigger beads. Okay, yes. So after entering the two bigger beads, you enter the smaller bead like this, and then you pick two bigger beads. Then you cross the second bigger bead. So when you are closing the round, you don't need a small bead, rather, but you cross the second bigger bead, and that is how you continue. You do it throughout. Okay, so to step up, you enter the next bead, you pick one small first, two bigger beads, and then one small. You cross the last small bead that you pick. But when you're continuing, you enter two bigger beads, you pick two bigger beads and one smaller bead. It's only when you are starting a new round that you pick smaller bead first and then two bigger beads. Okay, hope I'm not getting you confused. So if you watch it carefully, you will understand what I'm saying. Yes, so please, I will urge you all to subscribe, like, comment, share. I respond to every comment. Okay, I respond to every comment that comes through. So do comment, and if you have suggestion, anything, if you have a big design that you want me to do a tutorial on it for you, I'm available. Send it to my WhatsApp, and the number is in the description box. Okay, yeah, so you continue, with the same process till you have your desired length. So this one I repeated it, so excluding the base I did six rounds. Okay, excluding the base I did 6 rounds, and then if you want it to be much longer, you can do 7 or more. So here I'll pass my thread through to meet the other thread up there so that I can fix my handle. Okay, so basically that's what this part is about. So we have so many ways you can fix your handles. Okay, so it depends on how you do it, right? Thank you all for staying with me throughout this video. Okay, see you in my next video. Bye bye. Don't forget to subscribe. Okay.